All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 31 of Let's Kung Fu. Tonight we are going to be doing something a little bit different than our original plan. We had been planning on having another one of the After Hours Gaming League admins on for a quick interview, but we are doing something a little different instead. We have a super awesome and a special guest with us tonight. Eternity.cArn. But before I jump in with him, just some quick housekeeping. Next week we will probably go ahead and do that final interview in the AHGL series, but in the coming weeks I would just expect to see a whole bunch more interviews. I'm hoping we'll get some more of the Eternity folks, because they've been great to work with so far, and I'm also in talks with the team manager from Evil Geniuses, so hopefully we can see some cool folks from them coming up as well. Beyond that, though, let's face it, you're not here to listen to me talk tonight. You are here to watch my special guest. So we're just gonna skip right ahead and jump on over to him. If you want to go ahead and say hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, thanks so much for agreeing to be here tonight.
No problem.
I know
Happy
it's
to be here.
I was gonna say I say tonight, but for you it's the morning,
Yeah,
right?
it's 10 a.m. now. Actually, literally just woke up now. So
Yeah, it's kind of crazy the time zone differences. It's 8 at night here, but
yeah,
10
yeah,
a.m. in Korea.
yeah. It's just
So
night and day switch,
yeah,
basically.
absolutely. That's said it's always fun. I'm actually really excited that we're getting to talk to a player who's in Korea. Just because arranging that sort of thing, especially with those time zones, can be super difficult. And let's face it, you're kind of living the dream right now, right? Like
Yeah,
what
well,
player doesn't want to go to Korea to train and to play?
well, a lot of not many players actually want to do it because there isn't much to play in Korea, so it's not that interesting. It's in a foreign country where you don't necessarily speak the language. There aren't many players who come out here, and players who come usually just leave pretty soon. The only players who stuck around were Jinro, Huck. Now Naniwa is staying. Um, yeah, there isn't many players who actually stay. To be honest, most players just come and end up going.
Well, I definitely think you're doing it the right way.
Thanks, that's true.
So, how long would you say you've been playing video games competitively?
It would be since it would be maybe, let's say, 9 years, 8 years, 9 years, something like this. As the first competitive game that I actually played was it was Dota. I guess Dota. Yeah, Dota. Dota was the first one that I played pretty seriously. I played other games before, obviously, but it was more for fun, and I was enjoying trying to improve, etc. But I wasn't really playing competitively with the best players, etc., and playing tournaments. So I would say Dota, yes.
Awesome. What made you want to get started playing games competitively?
No, it just happened. Like you start playing, you get better, and sometimes like some people get interested in you because you started being good, so they talk to you about if you're interested to play, etc. And then you just end up doing it. It just happens. You don't. I don't think you're gonna just play a game. Usually we play games just for fun, um, and then things end up happening. Like you start playing more seriously, taking the game more seriously as you get better, and enjoy playing against good players, and then it just goes long and so on.
So, why did you decide to start playing Starcraft?
Well, I actually never played or watched Brood War before I started playing StarCraft 2, and I was hearing a lot about it. I had a lot of friends, some friends who played it and really liked it, but I never really got interested in it before StarCraft 2. And when StarCraft 2 came out, there's like a lot of fuss about it, around it. So I was kind of wondering. I was like, oh, what is this all about? Why everybody's talking about StarCraft 2 and Brood War? So I was curious, and I started playing. It was my first RTS too, so I played some Age of Empires before, Age of Empires 2, and like I think that's it. Like in terms of RTS, so I didn't have any experience, and I didn't know if I would like this type of game at all. But I was like, okay, I'm curious. I'm gonna try. Some friend introduced me to it, and I started playing it. I really liked it, so I kept playing and started getting better. And eventually, I decided that I wanted to do this more seriously.
Awesome. Yeah, I feel like everybody that does RTSs has Age of Empires in there somewhere too.
Well, I think it's one of the closest to Starcraft, actually. It's probably one of the closest RTS to Starcraft. It's really, really close. I haven't played a lot of them, as I said. I just now I've played like Warcraft 3 and Age of Empires 2, and that's it. I think. Beside this, after I started playing Starcraft, so I think that's the closest that I've seen. So it's a pretty good experience for a Starcraft player, I think, to have.
Awesome. So why did you wind up picking Terran as your race?
Mm. It was just because it looked like the most intuitive race to play. Because I mean, it was like it's pretty simple. Like you play here humans and you have this kind of units, those kind of units. I was like, okay, it's pretty straightforward. And it was like just you build like it was really close to Age of Empires actually. That's
Sure.
probably why. It was just like okay, you have your main base, you have production facilities, and you make units with them, and it was pretty simple. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play this. Zerg looked really different. Looked the most interesting to me, but I was like, I don't know if I want to bother like trying to learn a new game and uh, a new concept altogether. So I was like, I'm just gonna play with Terran. If I don't like it, I can still play another game once I know StarCraft better.
Sure.
Another race once I know StarCraft better. So I just ended up sticking with it because I really liked the play style.
Yeah, and honestly, it's Terran really feels like the race that just if you're just coming into it, just makes sense. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't have a lot of funky things like warp gates or chrono boost or like larva injects. Like it's
yeah, exactly.
straightforward.
Yeah, and I really like the play style as in because I like to do when I play, I like to do things towards winning, like not just sit back and macro, and I like to do things that actually gonna influence the game beside my strategy, my build, or my macro, etc. I like to try to harass while trying to build an advantage, you know, to try to build an advantage. I don't like just sitting back and not doing anything because I don't feel like you you're actually doing something towards your win when you're just doing this, when you're playing passively. I think like you need to play active if you want to deserve a win. You need to do to do action that are gonna help you get an advantage, not just hope your opponent is worse than you or something like this. So, and turns at the time at least, turn was the race to do this. There are
Sure.
like a lot of options to harass and that's how you were supposed to play. You're supposed to harass and do some timings, etc. Like be aggressive.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm a Protoss player. I'm terrible. I'm only diamond, but my game is entirely based around hoping that the other guy's worse than me and that he messes up.
Yeah, well, I think this is a valid strategy, but I think if you want to really get better, that's also why I started doing this. If we really want to get better, you have to try to be active, I think.
Absolutely. So are there any players that you would any other players that you would say like that you look up to or like inspire you to like want to be better or like play like they do?
MVP, MVP is the first that comes to mind. When I guess Flash 2, yeah, Flash 2. Like the when I saw his games at MLG, I think that was what one of the first times we saw him play like actually really well since he switched to StarCraft 2. Before he was still learning the game, so it wasn't that impressive. But at MLG was really impressive. It's like the way he played felt different than other players, other StarCraft 2 players. But mostly MVP to be honest, especially since he has like he was won like so many titles and despite the fact that he has so many problems with his health, like with his wrists, his neck, etc. But he still managed to perform consistently, even when Terrans are doing so bad. And I think it's amazing. I don't. It's something that it's something really special to have. Like a player who can do this. Is really really like he has the talent. He has a lot of talent, and he's like I look up to him a lot just because of this. Because he can overcome those all those problems that he has, and that shouldn't allow him to win so often and so many titles. When there's like a bunch of other players who practice as much as him and who don't have his problems, but he's still managing to make it.
Excellent. Yeah, no, he's I think he's a good choice. I've seen
Yeah.
him play live at a couple of events, and it's just phenomenal.
Mm. Yeah. It's probably the player I admire the most, I think.
Very cool. Um, so what do you think about the nickname that you have here? Like I know that people like to call you the Banshee King.
Uh, well, it's not really up to date anymore because I still do benches, but not as much as last year, I'd say. But actually, yeah, at the time I was really winning solely on games, solely on my Banshee builds and my Banshee control. So I guess it was fitting. I don't know if could have said that I was king. Like I wasn't the only one who was good with Banshees, but that's I was doing this almost every single game. So I guess that's probably why.
So if you got to pick your new nickname, what would you make it be?
Uh, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not really sure. Like I do a lot of mechs, so maybe something around this. But I still make Banshees. Even now, I still make Banshees a lot, and almost in every matchup. So it's, it's like I think I got this nickname because I was doing it also in against Protoss, which I was not many people would do.
Sure.
Uh, so that's probably why. Because against Zerg, okay, against Terran, okay, it was kind of standard too. But I guess I would basically do it like every game. No, not a single game. I wouldn't open benches. And against Protoss too, because I felt like it was the safest. But now I still do it, so I guess it still works. My control is not as good as before with Banshees, but yes, it can still work.
So what was the first video game that you remember playing?
Uh, Super Mario Bros. On NES.
Which one? Three? I guess that's the normal one.
No, that was
Oh,
the
the first one.
first one. I was 3 year old when I started playing, so
Nice. I like it.
so that was really long time ago.
Excellent. No, that's a good choice. I think that's honestly probably most people come back with
Yeah,
with like a Mario or something like that.
yeah, Mario, maybe on no on the Game Boy or an NES, Super NES or something like this, yeah. Or even for other people maybe the older consoles, which I can't remember the names. Yeah, Atari, you know the Atari
Oh yeah,
systems. Oh, yeah.
I've got one over. I've got one over there.
Oh, okay.
I'm an old man.
Well, we're all gamers.
Um, so I know that you've had all kinds of like ups and downs, obviously. In your esports career and playing over in Korea and bouncing around a little bit between different teams. If you had something in your career so far that you could just go back and do differently or not do, what do you think it would be?
Mm, maybe uh, attending the club because basically I was in the Sahara and we split because I didn't go to the qualifiers on January this year, and they basically used this as an excuse to cut me off. And I think that was a mistake. If I didn't do that, they wouldn't have an excuse, and I would be fine. I would have been fine because I had a lot of problems since I had to leave the Sahara. So I think that's one thing I would have done differently. I would have still gone, even if I wasn't ready. I would have still gone, and then I wouldn't have those problems. Even though it doesn't say that I wouldn't have had those problems, at least there would have been like nothing to 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 blame me for, even if in this case I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So probably this. I wouldn't go back on my trip to Korea. I think that was the best decision I made. Uh, maybe when I think about it, after I had to leave Isara, I think maybe I should have probably came back to Europe for a little bit to play here, to play here in Europe. But I was really stubborn. I just stayed even then, even if I wasn't in the best position here. So that's probably this, yeah.
Awesome. So now obviously you play for Eternity. Uh,
Yeah.
how do you like it?
But it's really good. They've done a lot for me right now, and we have a lot of projects in mind. So it's really motivating when you have when you have a team. There's like teams who like try to push you, and other teams who give you reasons to be motivated. And in this case, they just give me reasons to be motivated. And like there's a lot of stuff coming up from me as like some projects or events that I'm gonna do, etc. So it gives you a reason to play and to practice because it's really difficult sometimes to find motivation to practice every day, every day, every day, every day. Like you have to do as a pro gamer to stay competitive. And um, I think that one of the worst thing a team can do is like put pressure on you, be like, oh, you have to put up results, etc. You have to do this, this, this. But there are teams who just care about you as a and try like to make you a better player by giving you reasons to practice. Not necessarily like telling you to practice or to play in tournaments, etc. They just give you you just want to do it yourself just because of their efforts, and that's kind of how it feels now with the Eternity. So I'm really happy with it because after everything that they went through like lately, motivation was kind of difficult to find, but now it's much easier to find it, I think.
Great. So was changing teams a pretty smooth process? Or at least did Eternity try to make that? I'm sure that's pretty jarring, right? Like you go from one organization to another. Like was that pretty easy for you?
Yeah, like when they were talking to me, I was already considering leaving my previous team because they weren't doing anything basically from what they told me. They were actually not doing anything at all. So I was pretty happy. I was already thinking about it. So it just helped me make my decisions much faster, and it saved me time. So it went pretty smoothly.
Great. What do you think about your new teammates?
Oh, they're cool. Like they talk to me from sometimes, and usually I don't have much interaction with my teammates, but uh, the only problem is like we can't really play because they're Europeans and I'm in Korea, so we can really play on each other's server. I guess we can play on NA, but not everybody has a NA account, so it's not that easy. But we talk sometimes. Yeah, I think they seem like happy to have me. I guess on the team, and that's really good. That makes you feel like you want to give more.
Yeah, I saw you did something with another one of your teammates earlier this week, right? You did kind of a streaming
Oh yeah,
coaching.
yeah. That was yesterday, I think. No, 2 days ago.
How
I'm not really
was
sure because
how was it? Was that fun? You enjoy
yeah,
doing
that
this
was
sort of
really
thing?
fun. Like, yeah, that was really fun. I really like explaining the game and maybe teach. I guess I like teaching. Like when I was younger, I used to give like math lessons when I was in high school, and for some reason I was enjoying it. Like from my sisters or for other people, and I actually was enjoying it. And it's the same for this. Like I'm enjoying it, so it was really nice. I wanted to try it, and well now I did. So I know I was expecting I would like it, and I actually did. So it was really fun.
You think down the road you'll start doing more coaching?
Mm, probably, yeah. Wait, if the time allows, yeah, I think so.
Awesome. I know a lot of players kind of do that on the side.
Yeah,
And a
yeah.
few folks have even like made that like their career transition. When they
Mm.
stop being a pro gamer, like what Clyde I think just switched
Oh
to
yeah.
being
Oh
a coach.
yeah. Well, are you talking about personal coaching or coaching for a team, like
A little bit of
team coach?
both.
Oh
I feel like they're kind of connected, right? Like you don't. It's not just a matter of like showing people how to do things, but also kind of like sharing your experience and your
yeah, yeah.
knowledge.
Well, team coach is a little bit different because you're just gonna it's kind of different because usually a coach is not really better player than the players of the team when you're a team coach. Whereas if you're a personal coach, usually you're a much better player than the players you coach. So it's very different. As a team coach, I think you just need to see, like, because sometimes when you play, you don't really see all the mistakes you make. Even when you watch replays, sometimes you just miss things, and you need someone to tell you because you're not objective when you watch yourself play, watch you play, or when you play. So I think having someone exterior who has a lot of experience as a pro gamer and who's not he might not be as good as you, but he's gonna be able to see things you don't see because he has another perspective, you know. And I think it's really important. That's why they have coaches in Korean teams, even if it's people really far from being as good as their players. They're still really useful to them because of that and because of the psychological part. Like try to condition themselves. They help the players condition themselves, and it's very important to for them to have to be able to perform in tournaments. And for the personal coaching part, like actually, I had a lot of requests last year when I was streaming a lot for this, but didn't want to do that at all because I want to focus on practice. Because it would take time and energy. You're gonna think like, oh, how should I do this? And so I didn't want to bother at all, and I just said no. I don't want to do it because I wanted to focus on practicing and trying to qualify for the GSL.
So you've been a pro gamer for a little while now. What would you say your biggest challenge has been? As a pro gamer.
Uh, Biggest challenge, as in what I encountered or what I tried to do. I'm
Yeah,
not too sure.
so not just. It's kind of I know it's kind of a weird question, but so you've competed, you've had competitions at different tournaments, you've had problems with teams, you moved to Korea. Like what was the hardest thing that you've done or had to do as a pro gamer?
The hardest thing, well, trying to qualify for the GSL was pretty tough because, well, it's probably I think the GSL qualifiers are probably the hardest tournament in the world. Maybe even harder than the actual Code or Codes. Because at least for Code and Codes you have, well, I wouldn't say Codes, but harder than Code. Because at least for the matches in the actual GSL, you have time to prepare and for your opponents, etc. And in the qualifiers, it's not really like this. You come, you have like five best of three in a row, and you have to play against extremely strong players every round. So and there's a lot of pressure because this is it. That's all there is in Korea.
Yep.
This is like one tournament. If you're not in, then you don't have anything to play here. So it's very stressful for players here, and especially for Koreans. They don't really. That's all they have to play. So that's why not many people come here because there isn't many opportunities. There's only the GSL. But I choose to take. That was a challenge I choose to take on, and didn't work out yet. So it's probably this like this this coupled with the fact that there isn't much the difficulty coupled with the fact that there isn't much else to play made it difficult to be here as a programmer.
So on along those same lines, what's been your favorite experience since you've been a pro gamer? Like a tournament that you did well at, or like a random fan coming up to you and saying hi. Like what's your favorite thing about it?
PPSL I think was the event where I was like, oh, that's really. I was really surprised when I went there because basically it was the one of the IPL 4 regional qualifiers, which was offline in Manila in Philippines, and I won the online qualifiers to go there, and they flew me from Korea to Manila to play in it. there is like a bunch of Koreans, like Marine King, Moon, Inca, Top. I think I'm not sure if Top was there. There's like a bunch of Koreans and Pinos and all people qualified basically in the Asian in Asia, and I went there and Philippines are not really known for to be a Starcraft place, you know. So
Sure.
I mean, when I went there, like there's the tournament was kind of bad run because of technical issues. But beside this, like the fans, I've never seen like fans as crazy as there. Like never. They're they're going nuts. There's like so many people actually came to the venue. It was in a in a maybe shopping mall, I think. Like there's like a big place, and there's like a balcony, kind of a balcony like around the scene, the stage, and there's like a ton of people there, and they're so crazy, so passionate about the game, and like you had like people ask for pictures and signatures like all the time. I don't remember how many people because there were like so many. There's like people going crazy when they saw even one guy who went like nuts when he saw Arthurus. I started screaming and jumping. It was the best day in his life. And I thought, this is amazing. Like I've never like when I went to SWC, that wasn't like this at all. Like I had few people come to me and to tell me that they liked what I was doing, etc. Ask occasionally for a signature, but yeah, there it wasn't like this at all. It was pretty intense, and I was really surprised.
That's awesome. It's it's always good to hear that some of the smaller, less well known communities can be the most enthusiastic.
Yeah, yeah, they're actually really enthusiastic and really passionate. But that was a huge, big, good surprise.
That's awesome. So coming up, are there any events that you're really hoping that you're going to be able to go to, or that you just really want to compete in?
Mm, I'm not sure. I really wanted to go to an MLG. I couldn't go for the one for to Dallas, but I hope that I can go to the next one. Um, I also want to do DreamHack, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to go. I don't think so, but maybe next DreamHack too. Uh, I'm not sure. Like, there's a lot of events that I want to do, but mostly DreamHack. I want to do again ASWC. Like, I got invited this year again, but I couldn't make it because they told me way too late. Like, they told me like 3 days before the event. I was like, I can't make it. This is too short notice. So I want to do ASWC again. I want to do an MLG because I've never done it, and I want to do DreamHack because I've never done it yet. Like, I had the opportunity to do DreamHack before for Dota. I got invited a few times to play in some teams for Dota in DreamHack, but I didn't. I couldn't really make it because of my studies. I had exams coming up, and like exams were actually during the event, so I literally couldn't go. So I had to make a choice, and
Sure.
I made it, and it was the wrong choice. And I feel like I should have done DreamHack.
I'm sure eventually you'll get out to do one.
Mm.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I really want to go to a DreamHack. I've been to a couple MLGs. I've never been to DreamHack, and it just sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, well, it's like one of those really old events. Like that was like the biggest event for anything for a long time. So yeah, it's like a thing to do.
So aside from obviously the tournaments that you're hoping to get to, are there any big plans or big things in store for you for next year that that you want to make happen? Are you gonna try for GSL again, or are you just gonna?
Yeah, yeah, GSL mostly. I still want to do it because actually nobody managed to qualify through the qualifiers yet, and I wanna be the one to do it. I was really close last year. I think like if I didn't have, if I didn't cut off from a way to means to practice, in the middle of it, I had good chances of qualifying during the second half of the year. But so I wanna catch up and make up for this. Like maybe I don't know if it's gonna be because of Liberty or Harder Swarm because apparently Harder Swarm is coming soon, which I doubt.
Yes,
We'll see.
finally.
So if it does, then I guess it's gonna be a Harder Swarm. If not, then I wanna try to do it before Harder Swarm. I don't know if it's gonna be possible because it's really difficult here. Uh, I mean, the competition in Korea is ridiculously hard those days. So we'll see. Like this is like one number one goal. Like I want to play in more tournaments, obviously, maybe online too. But right now I don't. Still wanna qualify for the GSL more than anything.
I think that's a awesome goal, and I'm confident you'll make it. I think you'll get there.
Thank you. Hope so too.
So that's pretty much the end of the questions I have for you. Before I let you go, though, if you have anything that you want to say to the folks watching, or any shout outs you want to give, or anything at all, you've got a couple of minutes. You can ramble incoherently if you like. It's all good.
Well, no, thanks for like my friends, my family, obviously, and all people who actually support me. It's really like it means a lot. People don't realize this that much, but I think I can speak for everyone else. Like everybody, it helps a lot like to keep motivated and like most of the biggest reason I keep doing like one of the big reason I keep doing it is because of all the people supporting me and who actually want me to finally reach this goal that is to qualify for the GSL, etc. And there's like a ton of people still like still waiting and want me to do it. So and I can't just quit because of that. Honestly, I think one of the big reasons is because of this. And yeah, shout out obviously to my team and our sponsors like Red Call, Ozone, Caliware, and follow me on Twitter. It's at Carn_SC, CARN_SC, and yeah, um, I'll probably be streaming again soon. Like I've been streaming a little bit those days, but not that much because I was kind of busy and I was preparing for the GSL qualifiers. So I'm probably gonna start streaming again, like in the coming days. I'll tweet about it. So just follow me and you'll get it. And thank you for the interview.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you again for coming on and spending some time with me.
Yeah, sure, anytime.
All right. I was gonna say have a good night, but that's for me. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
And yeah, hopefully we'll get to talk again soon.
Yeah, sure. Good night.
There we go. That's the right scene. That's what you guys want to look at. So yeah, that was Eternity.cArn. Great guy. Thanks. I really appreciate him being on the show. Hopefully you all also saw my super awesome new interview overlay there, where you can find all of the social media information for Let's Kung Fu. Please, follow me on Twitter, like us on Facebook, all that good stuff, so that we can keep bringing you awesome content. And hopefully we will be doing more interviews with great players in the near future. But next week should be the normal After Hours Gaming League interview that we had originally planned for tonight. And after that, we're just going to kind of see how it goes. Thanks again, everybody, and you can enjoy my sweet closing credits. If I can hit the right button. There we go.